Right now at 5, a 16-year-old girl is shot over the weekend. The update from Sun Prairie Police as a suspect is in custody. Plus, opinions divided. The ongoing debate in Oregon over a tax referendum ahead of April's election. And expanding medical care in Madison. Why American Family Children's Hospital says it's time for the facility to grow. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for staying with us at 5, everyone. Eric is off this week. We begin tonight with breaking news. Madison Fire is fighting an active blaze in downtown Madison. The Dane County Dispatch says the fire started around 4:15 this afternoon. Officials say callers reported seeing flames coming from the top story of a residence on Gorham Street. We have a crew on the way to the scene. There is no word yet on any injuries or damages, but we will keep you up to date both here online and on the air and online at channel3000.com. To weather now, though, it's been a warm start to the work week. Beautiful afternoon outside with temperatures in the mid-60s.
Yeah.
And the sunshine to boot. Blaze Keller is out on the patio. That's the place to be, Blaze.
It really is. You know, I saw the temperatures. I'm like, ooh, is it going to be like a comfortable 60 or do I need the jacket? And I mean, I almost want to just wear a short t-shirt because it is just so nice outside. 60s and 70s. We got to 67 in Madison, so that's a new record high temperature for today's date in the city. We're at 70 in Bosco Bell as well as in Prairie du Chien, 70 in the Camp Douglas area, 67 in the Dells, 70 in Sauk City, 69 in Middleton as well as in Cross Plains. I mean, it's gorgeous outside. A little bit of a breeze, but it's nothing to really be upset about. We look ahead to Friday. That's when we've issued an alert day for our next big system. Up until really Friday, we're going to remain dry this week. Here's a snapshot of what is likely going to be moving through parts of the Midwest and the Plains early Saturday morning. A very healthy and strong low pressure system. So we're going to talk more in depth about that in the full forecast. In the meantime, enjoy this afternoon. Make some plans to get out and enjoy the warmth. We'll settle into the 30s and 40s tonight.
Referendum in the village of Oregon has some divided on the benefit it could have. Our Kyle Pozorski spoke with a business leader today about that.
In sitting down with News 3 Now, Mark Mortensen, the president of All Color Powder Coating, says the upcoming April 1st referendum will not benefit the village of Oregon. He says Village Hall has neglected industrial growth over the past few decades, leading to a small commercial tax base to pull from. This, he says, has led the village needing to receive more funding from residential properties and putting the village in a situation where they are unable to keep up with rising costs.
If it doesn't pass, it doesn't fix anything. It just moves it on to next year or the year after.
The solution, he says, is creating more opportunities for businesses to build in Oregon.
If we say no at this point, that the village will have to look a little more seriously about trying to find or encourage other sources of income.
Village President Phil Van Kampen says he agrees with Mortensen that more commercial developments could help the village. However, the referendum is not about that, but instead about keeping the village operational and supporting essential services. In Oregon, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. If approved, the median home valued at $430,000 would see an additional $430 per year on its tax bill. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is urging residents to comment on a project affecting a rare lizard. The DNR requested authorization for the incidental taking of the state-endangered slender glass lizard for a Wisconsin Dells Public Works facility project. An incidental take is when an endangered or threatened animal is unintentionally killed, but that loss does not put the species' overall population at risk. Residents are being asked to submit written comments on the decision by May 6th. An address to send those comments can be found on our website, channel3000.com. The Department of Agriculture says eggs are about double the price from January of last year. That's according to to a CBS News analysis of federal data. It found since 2020, the USDA paid $1.1 billion to hundreds of egg producers forced to kill their flocks to stop bird flu from spreading. Despite the public investment to help farms get back on track, egg supply issues remain, and prices hiked more than 15% in January.
Do you think that that's a fair use of taxpayer money?
Well, it's a partnership with the farmers and the consumer to make sure we can continue to feed America.
With bird flu fallout expected at least another year, many farmers say it's important to protect small operations. More and more Americans are worried about the national economy. That is according to the latest Consumer Expectations Survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Many Americans are losing confidence in the U.S. job market. They also said inflation is no longer easing and believe they will have greater economic problems a year from now. The unemployment rate is sitting at 4.1%, but a majority of workers say they're looking for a new job. That's according to a LinkedIn survey, which found 54% of respondents in the U.S. want to change jobs this year. The fastest growing roles include AI and technical, travel and live experiences, healthcare, and strategic growth and revenue generation. Experts say now is the time to get aggressive with job hunting.
What happened is in 2024, a lot of people were considering making a job change, and many of them didn't change jobs, so they're still on the job market. And then you have an influx of new people who are looking for a role. So it's highly competitive, and it's leading to real frustration in the job search.
According to the Labor Department, 5.9 million people are unemployed but want a job. That's up 300,000 from a year ago. CVS is growing itself by shrinking some of its new stores. It's opening roughly a dozen stores this year that have only a pharmacy and are about half the size of the normal layout. They won't have the part of the store that usually sells snacks, makeup, cards, and other things. This is one part of CVS's turnaround strategy, which also included more than 1,000 store closures and thousands of layoffs. American Family Children's Hospital is expanding its ICU in light of recent demand. When the facility first opened in 2007, the 6th floor was left vacant to meet anticipated demands. Well, now that floor is being transformed. The plan is to build 24 pediatric and cardiac intensive care beds, increasing the total bed count of the hospital to 131.
This is a large part due to the need. It's also due to our heart program's success, in that we've been taking care of more and more kids with a lot of complex needs. And so that's been taking over about 60%, almost 50-60% at times of our intensive care unit.
Construction is set to start next year, with the unit opening in 2027. A shooting in Sun Prairie Sunday morning left one teenage girl injured. Our Jalen Banks spoke with the Sun Prairie Police Department about ways that they're bridging the gap between youth and the department.
A 16-year-old is in the hospital and a 19-year-old is in jail after a shooting in Sun Prairie Sunday morning. Sun Prairie police say its officers responded to South Bird Street at about 3 in the morning on Sunday and found a teenage girl in a home with a gunshot wound to her shoulder. And speaking with Lieutenant Thompson of Sun Prairie PD, he says efforts are being made to connect to the youth so future incidents like this won't happen.
You know, I think that is an area that we can continue to improve is on maybe some of our older kids. You know, we've been doing a really good job with the younger kids. We have pop-up popsicle parties, pop-up hot dog grills out. But yeah, continue to build on our successes maybe with the younger kids and find ways to reach out to the older kids is definitely something we continue to work on.
I also had the chance to speak to one state senator who says common sense in the Senate is how you can limit gun violence in the state.
But the reality is the vast majority of Republicans, Democrats, and independents, whether you're a gun owner or not, support common sense gun safety legislation like red flag laws, like waiting periods, like universal background checks.
Lieutenant Thompson also shares with me the teenage girl who was injured in this shooting is expected to be released from the hospital soon. For now, reporting in studio, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. The department said charges are expected to be released soon for the suspect. Still to come tonight on News 3 Now at 5, Blaze tells us about the sunny conditions ahead for southern Wisconsin. Plus, concerns rise over the potential of a recession, the ongoing trade war being seen between America and Canada. And another horrible day on Wall Street. The Dow dropped 890 points. The Nasdaq fell 728 and the S&P 500 declined by 155 at the close. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Investors are reacting to President Trump's promise of tariffs and his comment over the weekend that he could not rule out the possibility of a recession. Erica Brown has more from the White House.
Markets tumbled Monday with uncertainty over potential trade wars sparked by President Trump's tariff threats, making investors nervous. Trump administration officials say better days for the economy are coming.
I think that we're pretty close to having the uncertainty behind us, and as you know, when that happens, then the economy really lifts off.
Trump has paused some tariffs against Canada and Mexico, while he's threatening taxes on Canadian dairy and lumber.
I think the tariffs are going to be the greatest thing we've ever done as a country.
Canada is already striking back, with the Ontario government putting a 25% surcharge on electricity exports. Canadian officials say it will impact about 1.5 million homes and businesses in Michigan, Minnesota, and New York, costing an estimated $400,000 a day. Trump's tax threats had a big impact on party leadership elections in Canada. The Labour Party chose economist and former bank executive Mark Carney to replace Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
We didn't ask for this fight, but Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Greenland is holding its parliamentary elections Tuesday amid Trump's play to make the island part of the U.S., saying in his address to Congress, one way or the other, the U.S. will get Greenland.
I think it's important to say that the election here shouldn't be something that other countries are affecting. It should be something that is completely up to us.
Polls show the majority of Greenlanders do not want to become a part of the United States, and they now want independence from Denmark as well. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
The BBC reported that one poll found 85% of Greenlanders do not wish to become part of the United States, with nearly half seeing President Trump as a threat. The U.S. Agency for International Development has been gutted. Secretary of State Marco Rubio released a statement on social media saying 83% of USAID will be canceled. The cuts come after a 6-week review, and Rubio said the programs that remain intact will be placed under the State Department. USAID has handed out billions of dollars worldwide every year to fight poverty, diseases, and provide support to areas impacted by natural disasters and famine. Well, it is a very nice start to the work week in the mid-60s. Maybe take the dog on an extra long walk tonight, Blake.
Yeah, it is gorgeous outside, 60s and 70s still at this hour, and we'll do it all again on Friday. So if you didn't get into the 70s this afternoon, you're going to have a chance as we look to end the week as our next big system moves out of the plains and warms us up, bringing us the chance for showers and thunderstorms as well. A little bit cooler tomorrow, upper 40s to low 50s, but we are going to remain dry. We're actually looking to remain dry pretty much throughout most of this week, with the uptick beginning starting later Friday evening, overnight into your Saturday morning. Maybe squeezing out an isolated shower or thunderstorm late Thursday night and during the daytime on Friday, but the bulk of that moisture holds off, as I just mentioned, until later Friday night. Now, we've issued an alert day for Friday because we do see the chance for some severe weather moving into southwestern parts of Wisconsin. This low pressure system is going to be moving out of the Denver area and really taking shape as we go into your Friday late afternoon, early evening hours. A line of likely showers and thunderstorms stretching from parts of southern Minnesota all the way down the Mississippi River. And some of these storms in Iowa may be severe, and as they move into Wisconsin, they'll hopefully be dying out. And as this low pressure system continues continues to move its way through the Midwest, it will be weakening, pulling down cooler air in time for not only Saturday night, but Sunday as well. So we may see some snowflakes, but a lot of that snow is going to really stay into parts of northwestern Wisconsin or parts of Minnesota. So in terms of rain, we're looking at a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain based on somewhat early estimates. Most of that heavier rain is likely going to be falling off to our west in parts of Minnesota and Iowa as well. They could pick up anywhere between 1 inch to 2 inches of rain, and then they'll add on top of that a few inches of snow as well. Eau Claire, south and eastward, not a lot in the way of possible snow totals. Again, some snowflakes may be mixing in with that rain Saturday night into Sunday, but the accumulating snowfall stretches from Fort Dodge north into Brainerd there in parts of Minnesota. So we're not going to be getting a whole lot of snow out of this system, but we will be getting some of that cooler air Sunday into your St. Patrick's Day. So here's a look at who is underneath the threat as of now, Friday night into Saturday. Parts of Crawford County, Grant County, I would say Lafayette County, as well as Greene County. But the main thought is a lot of that severe weather is likely going to be occurring to our south. This is 15% in the yellow. This is 30% here in the brown. And this far out, the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center, that means that they are very, very confident that parts of the Mississippi River Valley will be dealing with some severe weather. We could be on the northern end of that, which is the best end to be at because we have some of that cooler air and that can really help those storms be on the weaker side. In terms of our high temperatures over the next 7 to 10 days compared to normal, very warm through Saturday, and then we'll be more seasonal as we go into your St. Patrick's Day Sunday and then further into that following work week. There's a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. We're up into the 70s on Friday, so if you missed out today, you got another chance, and then we're back into the 30s by Sunday.
All right, Blaze, thank you. When we come back at 5, driving equality in the auto industry. We'll take a look at the all-female auto shop making a splash across the pond.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Millions marked International Women's Day over the weekend to celebrate the achievements of women worldwide. A repair shop filled with all-female mechanics is driving equality across the pond. The women say they're hoping to inspire others by giving the male-dominated auto industry a tune-up. Tina Kraus reports.
At this female-powered repair shop in the British capital,
hello, Spanish with manners.
Tools turn quickly.
Here, we've just done an oil service.
And so do some heads.
Do people ever confuse you with someone else and think you're not the mechanic?
They haven't been here before, definitely. But you get, hello, mate, you all right, mate? And you come out and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm ever so sorry.
Who are you?
Yeah, what are you doing in there?
Mechanic Laura Kennedy founded Spanners with Manners, London's first all-female garage.
How you doing, you all right?
To give customers a warmer and more welcoming environment.
I feel more comfortable coming to a female garage because basically I don't think I'm going to be lied to or intimidated knowing that I don't know what I'm talking about.
You weren't always a mechanic.
No, I used to be a hostess. I'm in a dress, I'm in heels, big hair.
Natasha Raoul says shifting gears has empowered her and her 11-year-old son, who proudly tells his friends, my mom's a mechanic.
I think that's when I felt really like, wow, oh my God, like to him, I've changed the perspective.
Women can do anything, so why not mechanics?
I'm just changing the air filter.
It's a sisterhood of sorts, built on trust.
You know, everyone works hard for their money, and it's, you know, it's not about ripping people off. You know, if you're just honest with people, they'll come back year after year after year.
7 years in, new customers keep coming, showing integrity may be the ultimate fuel for success. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
We'll get a final check of the weather with Blaze when we come back.
Jitters over a trade war, rising prices, and a possible recession cause a steep dip in stocks. Is it a bad day or a sign of more to come?
And in our Eye on America, a look at something old that's new again, medical house calls. In some places, they're driving down the cost of health care and leading to better outcomes. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, today is March 10th, and today fans around the world are paying tribute to a little red plumber. It is Mario Day. He made his first appearance in Donkey Kong in 1981. Mario was then reinvented as an Italian plumber who rescues princesses. More than 210 million copies of the Mario game series have been sold. That makes him one of the most popular video games of all time.
I mean, I think he's the face of Nintendo.
I think you're right. And coming up quickly at 6, cuts are made to the Department of Veterans Affairs. We'll hear from one former service member who's been impacted by the layoffs. We stole this from Aaron Turk's editing bay here. It's
his day.
Yes, it's Mario's day. We have a little prop this afternoon.
Yes.
Take him outside and enjoy it.
I mean, it's gorgeous out.
Nice day.
60s and 70s for March 10th.
We'll take it.
Yes, we will. And it's still 60s and 70s right now if we take a look at those temperatures. So get out and enjoy the nice weather while it's here, because we will be a little bit cooler tomorrow, back into the upper 40s to low 50s. But really over the next several days, we are expected to be quiet. We do have that alert day on Friday, because that's when we do see the chance for showers and thunderstorms and maybe severe weather as well.
70 degrees though.
Oh, I know, it's nice.
Thanks, Blaze. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you back here